Hello and welcome back to Danish Lessons with me again. This is just a short video to let you know that I now have a Twitter account. So and I will be using that Twitter account to announce whenever I make new videos, and I will also try to post a little factoid about the Danish language each day. So if you're genuine about learning Danish, I recommend you go and subscribe or follow my Twitter account or whatever it is that Twitterers do, so that you may learn something new. Now, what I've written here is not actually my Twitter username. It's my YouTube username, and if you search for it on Twitter, then I'm sure you'll find me because I've put that as my real name on Twitter. However, it's 16 characters long, and due to the way Twitter works, usernames have to be fairly short. And so the people who work at Twitter have decided to set the character limit at 15, which means that this was too long. I've therefore chosen a different name. And if you're feeling particularly bright today, you may be able to guess what it means. Dansktimerne. Now, this is all in one word, not just because that's how usernames work, but also because this is a real Danish word, which is spelled like this in one word, no spaces. I think it's time that we look at how compound nouns are formed, because this is a compound noun. Let's start with the root of the word, time. Now, this shares some ancestry with the English word time, but it doesn't mean time, it means hour. It has a second meaning, however, and it's that second meaning that we're interested in. This means lesson in Danish. This comes from the fact that in Danish schools, lessons tend to be 1 hour long. However, this word, using this as the word lesson, is so widespread and so common that you can use this to mean lesson even when the lessons aren't 1 hour long. A good example of this is the word køretime. Now, køre means to drive, time means lessons, as we've just seen. So køretime is a driving lesson. And this is regardless of how long the actual lesson is. What we've done is we've taken a verb and we've taken a noun and we've just clashed them together. Typically it will be two nouns, but you can do this, as you can see, with verbs as well. What is important to remember is that it has to end in a noun, and it is this last noun that tells you what sort of thing you're talking about. So this is a lesson, and the køre, the driving, specifies what type of lesson this is. I want to give you an example of where that really comes into play. So this word here is venflaske. I'll spell it out for you, and this means water and this means bottle. So this is a water bottle, and there are no spaces in between like you would have in English. It's one word, venflaske. And so you notice here that flaske is at the end, which means that this is a bottle. What type of bottle is it? Is the type of bottle that you keep water in. Now you can flip these two and get the word flaskeven, which is spelled the same way and pronounced the same way, but with the two swapped. Now what we have here, this is what the type of thing we're talking about. So now we're talking about water. What type of water? The type of water that you find in a bottle. So this is bottled water. This is a water bottle. This is bottled water. So that is how compound nouns are formed. The particular compound noun that we are looking at right now is dansktimerne. Dansk is an adjective, and we'll look at adjectives later, but we're not really using this as an adjective, right? Because if we were using this as an adjective, we would have to split these two, and it would be a lesson that is somehow Danish by nationality or something, which makes no sense. But here, rather, we've clashed these two together to say, well, this is a lesson. What type of lesson is it? It's a Danish lesson. We're doing something else to it. As you've seen in the previous video on nouns, we're adding this R to make lesson become lessons in plural. And finally, what we then do, as I also showed in that same video, we add NE to make this not just lessons, but the lessons. However, these aren't just lessons. As we've seen here, these are Danish lessons. So this is not just the lessons, it's the Danish lessons, all in one word. So there you see in Danish how compound nouns are formed, and here you see how my username, the Danish lessons, would look in Danish. That's all for this time. Please do follow me on Twitter if you're interested in learning more. Thank you for watching. Ta.